Hello, I'm John Fox on the channel John West. I am having a realMyst adventure. Masterpiece edition. And what's in here? It's still a chair, isn't it? It's still that chair. Cool. I have this piece of paper. I have saved my game. Let's make sure I have saved my game. Let's just put it at the top. I think it's like 3 saves in the same place, because I don't know what's going to happen if I put this piece of paper down. Of course, the next thing I need to do is immediately pick up the next one if nothing bad happens.
Hello, I'm Achenar. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment. It was Sirrus who did this to me. Sirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not release him. He killed my father. He will kill you. It began when my brother Sirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the Myst. He hoarded riches for himself. My father slipped away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the Myst, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother hated him. And then Sirrus began to destroy the Myst. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. Completely destroyed all but 4 of the ages. Of course, I had to warn father. When I finally found him, there was Sirrus also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced father that it was I who destroyed the ages. He convinced father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And as Sirrus dealt the final blow, he tricked father into believing that I was the murderer. But Sirrus did not deal as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, father imprisoned us both, unsure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother is a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison. It's the easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf. It's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burned books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, don't take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. Do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, for you will rot and die, imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go. Go.
Okay, we have some books to read. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read one of the books of the ages. Well, we'll see if we can find... Ah, there it is. It was in front of us all along. Wow. I mean, I guess there's no harm in doing this. Well, we'll do this later. Okay. Is there an extra world in this? Do I have to make sure I don't miss it? So Channelwood was one we went to. So I've read quite a lot of this. So I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world, though it is exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late, and I must rest. So I'm reading this quite fast because I've read this bit already. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from the pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them. They did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colours. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which was about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. I do hope I'm recording. I am good. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, I guess that makes sense, was completely grey, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly afterwards, I was given a bed and some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me that he had not spoken our tongue in ages. He attempted to explain me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which then, a vast island, they interacted very little. I think I missed a word there. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. They would then stop, allowing everything to return to normal. I did the word then, and it wasn't there. One day, things changed. The rumblings began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me. Don't know why I gave him a voice like that. Although many details are very unclear in my mind, I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own, yet the old man believes it in the truth of the story as if he'd been there. And the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if he, or they, were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions, it should be it should be different, but whatever. These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I'd imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path, high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of the walkway and carry it away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree dwellers lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to a dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts colour. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. So we've got new writing. Blue, green, a little bit of red as well. I have lived on this world for 3 months on and off, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am evil. I should do evil voice, shouldn't I? I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on. The tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and sons, and hopefully return with them. Okay, it's not evil voice, I don't know why. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. Sirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning. I have faith that they will follow it. I don't have faith that they will follow it, or did. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the chaotic. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Sirrus and Achenar here. See Everdunes' journal for more information. After watching Sirrus and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. For a little longer. And for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirrus and Achenar are staying behind again. Why all these colours? What do all these colours mean? I've been gone for over 3 days, and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirrus and Achenar about Pran's death today. They were visibly shaken. Although they only remembered her from their childhood, Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirrus and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I've told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and travelled some ways into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colours. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I do not know they had such a sense of humour. Even now, I look through this very colourful journal. I cannot help but laugh myself. Okay, there's that mystery solved. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They've told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they could visit some other ages alone, though I will have to think over that request. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready to travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. And we can see, we can actually see like the pathways that we crossed there. That was nice. Let's go. Cena sucks. No, what? No, we read this one. Okay, cool. Is it this one we haven't read? Well, we just read that one. We definitely read Stone Ship. I cannot remember. I must have read that one. Yeah, I remember whispering. Okay, so it must be. Ah, this is the one I wanted to read. Okay, so we've got 2 books left to read. Because I don't know what this one's all about yet. This one's very short, so. So we want to go to the gear again and immediately come back. So it's been a week since I played, so. Really? Okay. That can be fixed pretty easily. I must have charged the wrong one. So all those clickings is me, army, whatever. Fantastic. Okay, cool. I finally bought a 3rd battery. It should be set correctly already. Hang on, is it just down here? Cool. I never actually found the other page, so who knows how long this will take. Okay, I think it was in here. The worry is I don't know if this is a puzzle or if I'm just blind. was this for? You know what I mean? Like, the page must be around here somewhere. Hang on, I might just see if it's in the hints. Don't click this until you find out about the age. Well, like, I've just found out about the age because it says it there. Also, we have... Okay. Rhyme doesn't get any... okay, that's good. We're not at the end then. Perhaps you did not look carefully enough at the map of the fortress that you found on the Myst Island library. Okay. To which I'm going to say, what map? I don't remember a map. So yeah, I don't, like, that's a hint I just straight up don't mind taking. Which is quite refreshing, because I'm still annoyed at some of the hints I've read. But, like, there is... I was about to say there's no real way of knowing which hints I'm supposed to take, but somebody actually genuinely... No! Oh, it loads too fast. Is that the map of the fortress? So now this makes me think, like, why would they have made one harder than the other? I don't get it. So this is all very cool. Is this the Dinny book then? No, it's a rhyme book. Dinny doesn't get a book. What map? I assumed you've already explored the fortress fairly thoroughly, but perhaps you did not look carefully enough at the map of the fortress that you found in the Myst Island library. Are there any walls that look like they might contain small secret doors? Look at what? Okay, like these are quite good hints actually, I won't lie. I don't know if this is the map it's talking about though, that's the only problem. It's implying that it's in the secret room, but I've checked the secret rooms. Maybe there's more than one secret room and I just didn't see it. Yep, I've just completely forgotten. Gear, that's it. Oh, it just loads too fast. Let me move. So I'm guessing that there was a page in here. I think that's it. So maybe there's one on the opposite. There we go. Honestly, I don't mind that. I think that was a pretty good hint. I should have figured it out, and there was a clue. I don't think I would have ever figured that out, though. I always have to justify it to myself, even if it's not justifiable. Now I can't say I did this world without cheating, though. It's a bit of a shame. But I think I did the real puzzle. So, I can't remember how long each episode is, but let's hand this in.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Sirrus. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Achenar is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. It was father who was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds of them, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here, in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Achenar has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our exploration. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. This thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Achenar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final journey. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, entrapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves. This library, which is mostly burned but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will meet face to face.
Okay. I'm not sure. I faffed for a little there, but yeah, it wasn't the most busy episode. But I'll tell you what, let's do this very quickly, because not this. Sorry, wrong one. 158. Kinda wish it wasn't that far in. I mean, I know they don't want anyone to brute force it, but still. Ugh, this, yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna let you go now, because you don't want to see me draw this. I've been John Proctor and John West. I've been having a Myst adventure, a real Myst adventure, masterpiece edition. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Thank you for watching.